Hello and welcome back to Two Car Guys. This week, we're going to talk about some updates. So, John and I both have some cars that are out of commission. We've got some
Yeah.
cars that are in limbo. We've got some cars that we're looking at. We've got all kinds of updates for our little fan base here. So, John, why
Yeah.
don't you start off? Tell us about what's going on specifically with the Maserati.
All right, man. Yeah. So the Maserati, I kick I kick this can down the road every time. I'm like, I'm gonna sell it. I'm moving on. I'm getting something else. I buy a part for it, or I do something
Good,
special to it.
good,
Right? It just keeps me from making that move. It's like every time
good.
I'm like, today I'm gonna get rid of it. I like the car. It's not that I don't like the car. I like the car a lot. I don't know why I get so much flack, man. It's a good car. I mean, it's
Who's giving you
comfortable, it's
flack?
fast. No, Maseratis in general, like
Okay, I
the
was about to say
value,
because
you know,
Jessica loves the car. I love the car,
yeah, overall,
so
we love the car.
it's a cool
So,
car.
I went after we went to the trip at Atlanta, we got back, and my buddy, I kinda planned this a while back to take her car in because we bought her a Porsche Cayenne, and I was like, "We're gonna take her car in, we're gonna get it paint corrected." I literally follow her there in the Maserati, and I tell the dude, "Hey, man, I know I brought the Porsche, but I was looking at the paint on the Maserati. I think we should do it instead." So
Oh, instead.
the
Oof.
Maserati's getting paint correction and ceramic coat. Well, the Porsche is
Okay.
white, so white does not give you the only thing I would get was the beating effect, and to me it was like,
I disagree.
yeah,
A friend of mine just bought a 4 Series BMW coupe,
okay,
and she did uh, the paint correction and the ceramic coat.
right,
I'd never seen a shinier car in my life, man. That thing looks amazing.
absolutely. I mean,
Came
that's the
out real
thing.
nice.
It's worth it. But
Yeah,
for me, it was either I'm doing a white SUV that it just stays dirty, man. Every time I clean
yeah.
it, it's dirty again. That's the only reason why I wanted to do it was the ease of cleaning. And I was just like, I'm gonna be re-ceramic coating this in like 6 months. Like, let's just do something that I'm not driving all the time. When I do
Right.
wash it, it's a bigger car, it's easier to clean. It's black with like pearl in it. It's gonna have this deep look when it's done. So I'm excited
I
about
mean,
it.
given the option, I would have paint corrected in ceramic the Maserati as well, right? You
Yeah.
know me, I've got the white X5, and I have
Right.
zero intention of putting ceramic on that car
Yeah, exactly. So,
because
for
I don't
me,
know how long I'm gonna have it.
it was return on investment. What's gonna give me a more gratifying result, and it's definitely gonna be the black car over the white car.
Yeah,
So, that's
100%.
that's what we did. So, yeah, so maybe I'll get there to pick up the Maserati, and I'll be like, "All right, man, well, let's go ahead and do the Porsche anyways."
So for those of us who aren't in the know, what were you considering, trading the Maserati in on?
So, my plan was to actually probably sell the Maserati and the Audi and buy, like, another C8, like a base, something like that, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, I'm not gonna get any more enjoyment out of another Corvette as I am the Maserati. The Maserati's
Right.
paid for. It's not eating anything. I don't want a payment on it, so it was just a better option to just
I
keep
don't
what
know,
we
man. You
have
do
for now.
like you do like trading C8, so that might be your
Well, I go through cars pretty quick. Like I usually quarterly, I'm buying a car, and
right. I'm with you.
it's not intentional. It's just, I buy a car, I make it the way I want it, and then other people seem to like that, and sometimes that's beneficial on my part. I don't know. We'll see.
I hear that. Yep.
Yeah. So as far as the fleet update goes, if you'd like to hear it,
Yes. Give us the fleet
the
update.
so the Audi, the AC is currently out. After we used it for development at APR. So we've got an agreement. I've already bought the parts. They're gonna fix it. It's kind of like a handshake agreement. So it was nice of them. So that's cool. The truck, I just did oil change and tire rotation tonight. So I'm a
Yep.
little tired, if y'all can tell. The let's see, the Aston. I mean, the Aston's chill, man. It's just relaxing in the garage. It's looking clean. Ready for the trip this weekend. It needs.
Real quick. So for
Yeah,
those of you who don't know, this weekend is Indy at
yep,
Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Actually, technically Leeds, Alabama.
yeah,
But for anybody who hasn't been there, absolutely
do it.
gorgeous. Gorgeous facility, amazing museum. They have cars in the bottom. They have
Yeah,
motorcycles all throughout. But John and I will both be there.
Yep.
Don't know what I'm driving, but I know John's driving the Aston Martin. So if you want to see
Yeah.
that car in person, now's your chance.
Yeah, that's the plan. We were planning to bring the Aston, and you were going to bring at one point I thought you were bringing the Aston, but it's not. Yeah, I get it. I understand it, man. So but yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a good trip, man. I'm excited about it. It's going to be a good time. We go every year, so I
Yeah.
kind of know what to expect, and I'm hoping it's the same as usual. We got a lot of friends up there, so it's awesome, man.
So I've never been to Indy. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to going. I've been to Barber a lot. I've done a lot of track days on Barber, on motorcycles. I've been to Barber quite a few times, but I've never been to Indy. Period. So I'm really excited to do that. I will say, and let me know in the comments how you feel about it. Right. Barber's about 3 hours away from me, about 3 hours and change-ish.
Right.
It's all highway. Highway 20 is terrible. Usually,
Dude,
just
shoot down 85 and come hang out with us, and then we'll just leave from here.
I mean, possibly, right?
Not that that's any better.
It's not really,
and it's more miles.
Yeah. But truth be told, the Aston still holds a really special place in my collection. It was my first big car, and
so what are you saying, Adam? You don't want to drive it this weekend because
I want to drive
it.
I want to drive it. I just don't want to drive it there because it is going to be a nightmare. With my luck, I'm end up behind some gravel truck on its way to Birmingham.
Hey, man,
and it's
about the experience, man. You got to bring.
But see, here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. I'd be willing to take the McLaren.
Yeah, that's what blows my mind. On the other hand, if I had the Aston and the McLaren sitting here, the Aston would be my instant choice to take. Now,
the Aston's a better drive, right? So it's going to be more comfortable. It's going to be, it's going to be quieter.
It's just a better trip car. It's a better car for the trip, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you put that thing in what sport? It's going to be a better trip car. But as far as like what I'd be willing to drive out there and roll the dice, I'd do it in the McLaren.
So that's kind of like when I went to Atlanta the other day for this for Savoy for all that stuff. For me it was like you wanted me to bring the Aston, and I had to tell you that the Aston for me is like the Aston for you, sir.
Yeah.
And so we brought the Maserati, which then made me like the Maserati all over again, and here we are.
I did that on purpose. I wanted you to bring the Maserati on purpose. That was my whole plan.
Yeah, the only thing is like while we're driving, my wife goes, "Did the maps update in the car?" And I'm like,
"Did they?
I don't know. I guess they did." But it was like this random update, but the maps look like clear and like almost like Google Maps. I mean, they're that nice now. And
what year's that Maserati?
It's a 2014.
Okay.
And so it's like it's the infotainment and it's not great. And the worst part of that car is the cup holder.
Look, dude, I don't want to. I'm not. No, let's not have this conversation. We're not having this conversation because you can't tell me that the maps in that car are worse than the maps in the McLaren. Can't tell me that.
I don't
you
know.
Can't tell me that the cup holders in that car are worse than the cup holders in the McLaren. No. But again, you're not buying that car for the cup holders and the maps, right?
Exactly. Well, originally that was my wife's daily. And so it became Maserati, my car. Right. Yeah, it became my car when she got the Porsche because I didn't want to. The trade didn't look good on numbers and all that, and I was just like, I'll just keep it. I'll just keep it for that money.
This bad boy.
Yeah, I'll just have it. Like I'd rather just have it in the collection and drive it on trips like we did, and get to enjoy it for that. So, and that's been awesome. Just to have it here and do that, it's awesome.
For those that haven't seen it in person. It's got plenty of chrome on. Plenty of carbon fiber on it.
Yeah.
The wheels on it look really good. It's just a sinister looking car. It sounds good, and we drove it in anger, kind of on the way.
Did get down the road,
the way to Savoy, and it got down the road.
It did well, dude. It'll get down.
It did well.
So the only thing is, like, I put some like cheaper tires on it the last time, and I've got to get those off. I don't like them. I was looking at your tire size.
I was about to say, I feel like you were kind of envying my tires a little bit. But,
Just the tires. I was like, I need to get a set of these, at least some better, something on here. So the next investment after the paint correction is going to probably be a new set of tires. Even though the tires are in good shape, they're just cheap, you know.
Yeah, no, I get that. But no, I mean, it was I like that car a lot. I do like
appreciate it,
that car a
man.
lot.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So updates
Yes,
on
sir.
my fleet.
Let's hear it, man.
Is a
Yeah.
funny way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I told you I just picked up that motorcycle, right?
Yep.
Did a whole bunch of stuff to it, and I went to go put exhaust on it. Bought a slip-on exhaust for it, and found out in Triumph's infinite wisdom that the headers are welded to the exhaust on the 24 model.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to order a set of heads, which is fine. I did it like, I don't know. I
Head
did really,
pipes?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I put the headers on and put the the exhaust on. I did it like in the middle of the night, didn't seat the
Yeah.
headers well. And so I found that out the next day when I did when I did a little run test. Got everything done, put it all together. It is perfect at the headers
Nice.
where the headers connect to like the collector to where it goes 3 pipes into one.
Right.
There's an exhaust leak. I've
Nice.
taken it apart about 3 times and tried to work it. It's just going to need some, some exhaust paste or
Like,
whatever to go in there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big deal,
Gotcha.
but yeah, it turned out really nice. It looks almost factory. It
Right.
definitely sounds good. So little work to be done on that.
Yeah.
The McLaren's been down and out for 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
I was gonna say it's been a month.
Yeah,
Has it been a
it's close
month?
to a month. I dropped it off the Friday before the first, so like the 27th.
Is this true McLaren ownership? Is this what it looks like?
So here's what happened, right? So what had happened was
What had happened was
there was on the 600 LTs there is a
Yeah.
coolant recall, and the car didn't have the coolant recall done. They actually replaced the entire coolant system, all the hoses and everything.
Right.
So I waited for a while for the coolant, for the recall parts to come in.
Right.
They came in, and I brought the car up there. I want to say it was on the 28th. So not quite a month yet. But brought the car up there on the 28th, dropped it off. Everybody up there's been super, really nice and everything. And I told them while I was up there, because it's under that warranty, I pointed out a couple other issues that I was having with the car, just little stuff. Actually, one
just
of them was
odd annoyances more than anything, though. Right?
So yeah, so the stuff that was going on with it was when they did the initial inspection, the deck lid, it was almost like it wasn't snapped in all the way, because under throttle it made like a high pitched vibration sound.
Yeah.
There
I
was
think I remember that
issue.
when I drove it too.
Yep.
I think I remember hearing it and being like, "Oh, what is that making that noise?"
There's an issue with the speaker in the driver's side door. No big, not really a big deal. But the big deal was that there was a popping coming from the front end, from the driver's side front strut. So they had to look into that. They, because it's under warranty, they had to submit everything for approval, and then kind of come back and once it's approved, then they can order the parts. So parts are ordered, and apparently they're supposed to be here this week, or mid this week. So there's a potential that I could bring it to Alabama. I'm not sure yet. So if I have it, I'll take it. The Aston's in good shape. It does have a light out in the in the buttons. So on an Aston Martin, for those of you who don't know, the Aston Martin Vantage, you don't have a gear selector, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have it on the stock or anything. It's push buttons. So I've got park, neutral, start, stop, drive, and reverse. And the park button is not illuminated for some strange reason. That's so weird. they it's all under warranty. They're going to take care of that. But while they're in there, Aston Martin is now offering a retrofit to put CarPlay in the cars. And so I
They
told him, I
have
was like,
that?
well, yeah. I was like, well, you're in there. Well, you've got the, you've
Because your
got the.
infotainment is the same as mine. They could probably do it on mine.
It might be a little bit newer actually, but it's going to be pretty close.
It's got to be close.
So they told me that essentially that they, while they have that piece off, it
Yeah.
would be easier for them to just go ahead and do it. And I've been wanting to do it anyway, so we'll get that done. As of right now, nothing is wrong with the BMW. everything is going well. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I am on the hunt though for a replacement for the BMW. I don't necessarily. It's just because I'm ready for something new.
What do you think about Maserati, by the way?
I actually like the Maserati brand. I'm not a huge fan of the Levante. I rented one in Florida and I just didn't enjoy it.
So a buddy of mine just did a belt service on a Maserati Levante. What's up, Tim? Just shooting this out here.
How many thousands of dollars was that?
Guess the hours to do a belt, just a drive belt on a car.
20 hours.
Oh no, that's way too high. But but no, it's so like normally a belt's pretty easy to access and pretty, an hour's usually what you would guess on something like that.
Yeah.
This took him 5 hours. And he is a like certified mechanic that knows exactly what he's doing. I was like,
yeah.
Whoa. And then come to find out that same belt service is on my Maserati as well. So that's good. It was done right before I bought it, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a fan of the Levante. I do like the Mercedes SUV that I saw the other day. That was pretty cool. For those of you who watched, we had a couple episodes ago with Derek from Sector 32. Right. I wouldn't be opposed to getting RS6 Avant. I mean, that's a pretty cool car.
It's a cool car, man.
But I'm leaning toward either another BMW X5, but I want to do the M50 or M60i,
just or get a little bit older X5M.
But I can't tow with it, dude. That's the problem.
You need a beater pickup truck.
Your boy has a motorcycle that he races on the track.
You need a beater pickup truck that you paid $5,000 for, that you can just leave at your parents' house or wherever your trailer is, and then whenever you're ready to go trailer the motorcycle, all you got to do is show up in your other truck, put the stuff in it, roll out.
So now you're lobbying for me to get a fourth car.
Absolutely. Do I look like the person that's gonna go for less cars in this situation?
Here's the problem. I do want a fourth car. I want to get I would like to get like a truck just to have to do truck things. Yeah. But the truck that I want, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And the bad news is right now it's gotten kind of back in popularity, and the prices on them have gone through the roof. I want a Lightning. I want a red 2-door Lightning from Fast and the Furious, right? And I'll put 2 car guys on the doors,
Oh yeah, like
but I want that. I want that
edge.
Yeah. Yep. I want that cool, I want that supercharged red stepside bed, single cab, right?
Let's go. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that car. You know what's funny is
I support that decision.
I used to work for a Ford dealership when that car was released, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And looking back on it, it's not the most attractive pickup truck in the world. I get it, but man, I just love it.
I always thought they were good looking and cool. And a buddy of mine had one in high school.
Little nostalgia, man.
Or like right after I graduated high school, back when I had my 350Z, he had one, and I just remember being beside him in the Z and hearing the supercharger just Oh man,
yeah, I remember.
That was cool.
I was going to Bike Week one year in Myrtle Beach, and I had borrowed a friend's what was it, Harley Davidson truck, the one supercharged 4-door.
That's what you need, man.
And I was pulling a trailer with the bikes in the back, and we'd step on the gas. It looked like everybody else stepped on the brakes. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: what's funny about that truck is there is a mint. I mean, just cherry. It looks like it's got no miles on it. No, there's a cherry one driving around my town, and it's driven by this, older lady.
Older
lady.
Very cool.
And I stopped her at UPS. I got out of the car and I was like, "Would you consider selling the car?" I was like, "I'll buy it."
What'd she say?
She was like, "No." She's like, "People ask me that all the time." She's like, "I'm not getting rid of this car."
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it looked brand new. It looked like a rolled off showroom floor.
That's awesome, man.
I found one. No, I found one at a dealership not too long ago, but it had a lot of little weird things about it. And then we tried to start it and it wouldn't start. It had a like alarm system on it, and they couldn't figure out how to
like a
disable the alarm
Viper or
system.
something
Yeah,
weird. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd really like to get that because I think it'd be a cool thing just to have, hook the trailer up to it and everything. But
super cool, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
So if I was to get another truck, I want a TRX. I
No.
want one bad. I've been wanting one for a long time since they came out. I want
so
the orange one too. So just all the bad, like
if
3 miles
if
per
you've
gallon
ever,
and orange.
yeah, you're not kidding. If you've ever been to Barrett-Jackson, the first couple of years that the T-Rex was out, they did a driving experience where
you told me
they
about
basically
that.
take you into the desert and do all that.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. I had a great time doing it. I will tell you, if anybody is ever wondering whether or not I can film in a situation like that, the answer is no. Because there's a section where they jump the truck, and every single time I'd either hit the screen or it would end up in my lap, and I didn't get a video of it.
All right, let's see what we can do. It's awesome though.
We had a good time. My son loves that truck, but what cracked me up about it was they had the people there, the marketing people, and every time they would call out a stat, they would compare it to the Raptor, and this is back before the Raptor R, right?
Right.
And so they'd say, oh, we have 20 inches of travel. The Raptor has 19. We have this, they have that. No, it's not even about that. Like, I'm kind of mad at Ford at the moment. But the funny part about it was it was almost like they were nitpicking. And I started joking around with one of the guys. I was like, I'm just waiting to come back. And you'd be like, the Raptor has 14 cup holders. We have 15,
Yeah.
It was
well, like in the under nonsense. The hood, if you pop the cover off for the air filter, is literally a T-Rex with a Raptor in its mouth.
Easter egg. There's more than one of those.
Some
that, right?
Easter eggs on that truck, man. To me, I just like I say this. I like my Ram, so I know that I would like it in a T-Rex form. I just don't want the 13 miles per gallon or whatever it gets on the highway.
Oh, it's not 13.
Yeah,
it's less
like
than that.
Low, and it's premium.
I mean, for those of you who watched, we did visit with John. John had the T-Rex for a while. He never fell in love with it. It just didn't do it for him.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've driven that car a couple times. My big issues with that truck, I don't think it. We can debate it in the comments. I don't think it looks as good as the Raptor. I really don't. I do think it looks better than the standard Ram by a lot. If I was looking at Rams, I'd get that because I have always liked the way the Rebel looks.
Right.
But my big complaints with the car are, one complaint that's more of like an aesthetic complaint is you've got this amazing motor with this incredible supercharger on it, right? You open the hood, you don't see anything. The only way you can see the motor is if you get off to the passenger side and look like diagonal into the engine, and you can kind of see the orange, right? And it just like, I'd want to see the supercharger,
So, I mean, you can pull all those covers off and throw on a cold air intake, and voila, it looks like a Hemi.
That thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
That's a cool truck, man, and it looks good to me. To me, it looks better than most things out there. I do like the way the Rams look, but I've had now with
but you're a Ram guy.
Ram,
exactly.
I mean, it's like it's simple to say that because it's like my fourth Ram truck out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not I'm not a fan. I don't like the vertical screen. I've never liked that. I've never liked that.
I use it so much. I'd much prefer it to be the updated one.
Yeah,
we could debate this all day, man. I could tell you all the little things. And
I don't like
the
big metal plate that they put for the TRX on the armrest. It's in a really weird spot. So every time you put your arm on the armrest, it's like digging into your arm.
Don't touch that part of it.
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
And I don't like the fact that it can't go two-wheel high, right? It can't go two-wheel high. It's four-wheel low, four-wheel high only.
I will agree with you on that. I don't like the fact that it doesn't go to two-wheel drive.
I don't understand
it doesn't give
why
you the option for that.
No.
And to me, I get it, performance-wise, whatever, but they should have made it where you could cut all that off and just cruise on the highway and get better gas mileage.
But you're not. You're averaging like 9 miles a gallon. It's unreal.
That's always been
premium.
so. my buddy, he came from like SRT and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And moved here. And he was telling me, like, he came from all that. And then, but he was even comparing it to like the Raptor because the Raptor got so much better gas mileage. And he's like, dude, I
Yeah.
had the Rebel. It was great. It did everything I wanted it to do. It just didn't have the performance of the TRX. And he's like, if I want the performance, I can get it from the Raptor and get decent gas mileage when I want to. And
but you got to remember that Raptor R especially is on 37s.
Yeah.
Right. Which looks really good on that truck. And it's getting like 15 miles a gallon.
Right. But then it also begs the differ. Why not just get a diesel? Why not just get a diesel? I can tow a house with it.
Because yes,
the maintenance is a little higher, but
a diesel truck, the maintenance is a little higher. The reliability is not what it used to be anymore. Now it's your gut depth fluid that you're messing with.
Delete.
I mean,
delete.
It's not what it used to be. And you're going with a much bigger truck. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is what it is. But
bigger is better, man.
In some cases, yeah. But if you have to drive that sucker back and forth to the airport, on a regular basis, bigger is not better in that situation.
So for me, and the only reason why I consider a truck like this is because this is not my daily. Right. I have 3 other cars I'm going to drive on a daily basis before I get in it. But when I do want to drive it, I want a nice truck to take out. That's the perfect thing for me.
And, I mean, to be fair, I've always liked the look of the Chevrolets. But I haven't been a fan of the Chevrolets in a long time.
The interior's gotten way better this year.
I was kind of looking through some of the trucks recently, and the Chevrolets kind of popped up in my feed. The interiors of those are amazing.
Yeah,
and now they got
way better.
The hands-free cruise, the heads-up display, and all that. And Ford just announced that too. They've got Blue Cruise on their trucks with the heads-up display. That's hands-free driving.
Which I will say, I haven't even shopped a truck I bought my truck in 2019 and I wasn't even shopping a truck. I was literally my other truck. I walked out, got in it, and the sunroof had leaked all night. And I was driving to go get new tires put on it. And I think I needed new brakes. And I was like, you know what? For the money I'm about to put in this, I'm trading it in. So that's what I did. I went to my buddy's shop and I said, hey, man, you got a truck that has the exact spec I was looking for, actually, except it's not black. And I didn't want another black truck either. So it was like, bought it.
Yep. I've been there, man. I've been there. How much is this going to cost to fix it? I'll just get a new one.
Yeah. It's
not necessarily new, just
$5,000 to fix all the things that were wrong with it, or spend another $25,000 and get another truck.
Just put a down payment on it.
No big deal.
No, I mean, so I've got to figure something else out. I at the end of the day, I really love that BMW. It's got the pathway lighting when you walk up to it. It's comfortable on the inside. It's actually sporty and fun to drive.
Dude, the
X5s about it
are freaking sweet, man. And
it's a great car.
I've told Jessica she loves the new X5M. And when work was getting rid of the blue one they had a gorgeous blue X5M.
You told me about that. Yeah.
And so they kind of put it up for sale, but it was like at market. It really wasn't a good deal. Like, it was a deal, but at the time the market was doing this,
Right.
And so with the market just steady tanking, it was like, do I want to put the money into a car that I know I'm going to lose, whatever down payment I put down or whatever, and not know where the bottom is, or I can just keep my truck that's almost paid for and it's a low interest rate. Right. And Jessica was just like, keep your truck. We can drive the Porsche. It's a nice enough SUV. And I was like, I was going to trade my truck and just get it.
But, I mean, it's an awesome truck and an awesome vehicle rather. Yeah. And I mean, firsthand, right? You took an X5M from Alabama to Pennsylvania.
Yep.
I mean, it's an awesome vehicle. Now the benefit though over the X5M 50i and the 60i over the X5M competition is you don't get the harder seats and you do get the option to drive it in the comfort mode, which you don't get those things in the competition. Right. So if it's your everyday car, if it's your everyday and you're driving it everywhere, it's a little bit nicer to have the more comfortable seats and to have the ability to kind of throw that thing in comfort every once in a while.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man, that X5M was probably in whatever the most aggressive mode was all the way to Pennsylvania and back. The only thing I had going on was I had the massaging heated seats on most of of the way. And then like I'd get tired of it. I get tired of it because it's like you're going down the road like this and you're like, oh I'm gonna go to sleep. And then I'd cut it off for a second and I'd be like riding and I'd be like, ooh, that's it's uncomfortable, and I hit the button again. And I probably wore that seat slap out, man. But when I got out of it, I was done driving. You drive anything, I don't care what it is, 14 hours straight. You're just like, I am ready to shut it down.
Yeah, I will tell you. So and I think you do too. But I ever since the introduction of the crew cab, the 4 doors,
yeah,
I've pretty much always had a crew cab truck.
Same.
Being 6'3" and being in a single cab is not desirable. And it's also not practical,
I'd still add like a Ram SRT, like the Ram Viper truck to my collection.
SRT10
right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool truck.
SRT10. So I helped years ago. I don't know if I ever told you this story, Adam, but I helped a buddy of mine curate a collection. He wanted a commemorative edition Viper.
Okay.
And there was a poster. It was 3 cars in the poster. It was a commemorative edition Viper, commemorative edition Viper SRT truck, with the Viper motor in it, and then the little neon, all commemorative.
Oh
edition.
God!
And so he wanted everything but the neon, obviously. But we did it, man. So right before COVID, 2019, I think we helped him. I found the Viper, and I went to Myrtle Beach, picked the car up, drove it back for him. And then we were sitting on the couch, and he's like, man, I really want to get the truck to match. And sure enough, I made a couple calls and a couple people I know in that world, man. And I was like, hey guys, and then finally one guy was like, hey man, I got one. It's mint condition. I'll bring it down to you. And he showed up at my house the next day with the truck, and we unloaded it and had the 2 together. And I'll send you some pictures of it, man. It's pretty cool. I'll let you pop it up.
For those of you that are looking for a good car deal, my Roush F-150 came from the Myrtle Beach area. So Myrtle Beach might be where all the cool cars are.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, more to come. Obviously, in our next video, we'll talk a little bit more about some cars we're hunting for. I've got my eye on a couple cars. I don't know if I told you this in one of the previous videos or not, but I almost bought a Ronald McDonald car. We can kind of make fun of that on the next video. But we'll keep everybody up to date as to what we're doing. We've got some more guests coming on in the next couple of videos. But again, for everybody who's listening and everybody who's joining us, we appreciate it. But before we wrap up, you want to play our game?
What are we doing?
All right, so daily, truck, and a supercar. Go for it.
So daily, truck, and supercar.
Yep.
So what do we know? Put a budget on it. Let's cap it.
All right. So the daily can't be more than 40 grand.
Okay.
The truck's got to be 50 and under, and supercar can't break 250.
Okay. So I'm going to start at the supercar and work my way down. So the supercar I would pick at 250, probably be the 600 LT, give or take.
Okay.
That or if I can make it happen, I'd do a 675 LT. But
you stole mine. All right, I'll pick something else. Go ahead.
If I could make it happen, at that price, by the time you do taxes and everything, I don't know, man. 250 is still pushing the budget there.
I know one that's out there.
Is it the gray one?
Maybe.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's at D&C Motors.
Don't tell everybody.
Like hey, look, guys. Hey, if you find it before him and you got 250K, buy it because I want it.
There you go.
So that'd be my supercar. For my truck, I'd just go for a Ram, man. Yeah, Ram. It'd be 4-wheel drive, probably a limited, a little bit, maybe a used one, so I can get like all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
That would be my truck. And then for the under 40,000 daily, dude, I'd go Maserati, man. It'd be a perfect daily, man. Like, I'd go Maserati. I'd go for like a newer, like either like an 18 Gran Turismo, like last year car, or something like that. Some kind of flashy but cool, like that. Yeah. About you?
All right. Daily Audi 4-door, maybe an A5. I've seen a couple of them in the $30,000 range recently, which were nice.
Yeah.
That were relatively newer. I've always liked the Audi platform. I like the Audi interior. Truck, I'm going to go for a Gen 3 Raptor. You can find one with some decent miles on it for around the 50 mark.
Gen 3, okay.
Yeah. And
Eco
then,
Boost, right?
Yeah, Eco Boost. Yep.
Yeah.
And then supercar, I'm gonna go red, black interior, 458.
Ooh, very good. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a good collection.
There you go.
All of those would be awesome in the garage. I think yeah, any way you flip it, that's the way to go. So you went Italian on the supercar, Ford on the truck.
So Italian, American, German,
and then I went British, American, Italian. So hey, sounds like a good group of cars, man.
Yeah, not bad.
Yep.
All right. Well, this wraps up another episode of Two Car Guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. Come back for more content. We've got multiple things happening on multiple platforms. So come back and interact with us, engage with us, and we'll look forward to talking to you on the next one.
See y'all next time.
See ya.